I thought maybe that final game at Cameron Indoor for that Duke team, the moment was too big for them. And maybe they didn't understand the enormity of it. And it, you're almost giving 100 points up to North Carolina. It feels like they're growing up right before our very eyes, where they do understand the magnitude of this, that they know the next game could be the last game for Coach K. Because, man, in the final 5 minutes of some of these games, they hit big shots. Coach K, you could hear the emotion, like he's watching them grow up before his very eyes.
Yeah, there's part of this, Dan, that's kind of hard to explain, because I don't think it was just the last game against North Carolina. I mean, commentators like me had been saying earlier in the year, this is an old school defensive team, Duke defensive team, getting out in passing lanes, disrupting. And, you look at their numbers and you go, and they don't force any turnovers at all, really. They were a very low turnover forcing team. I mean, they're good defensively, but they weren't great. And especially toward the end of the year, I mean, they got taken apart by North Carolina in the second round, in that last game. And then they went to the ACC tournament, and I don't think they played very well there at all. Like, they beat Syracuse and Miami, and then they got taken apart pretty good by Virginia Tech, which Carolina did too. But they didn't look good, and I didn't have them advancing past Texas Tech in the bracket because of how they looked and how I felt they were playing. And I know I wasn't alone in that. So your point about growing up before our eyes, I think they probably did some growing up in practice when they got back from Brooklyn from the ACC tournament. But they're playing like, if you were blindfolded the whole year and dropped into the postseason only in the NCAA tournament, you just watch tournament games. Like, I would say they've looked the best of any team in the tournament. Like, nobody's played consistently as well as they have through the 4 games that have been played. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to carry over to next week. And honestly, I can't imagine, how all the baggage of Duke Carolina playing in the semifinal and all the attention that's going to go with that is going to affect play and affect the winner in the championship game. Because there's one of those 2 teams is going to the title game. And I wouldn't mind being Kansas right now saying, you guys go have your little Hatfield-McCoy match and go to as many overtimes as you want. We'll play the JV game and see you on Monday night. And quietly go into that. Because how many times have we seen this where we think the de facto champions playing in one semi, the winner that's gonna win the thing, or one gets more attention, and then a team out of the other bracket winds up winning it.